Across West Africa, a powerful idea has taken root that long before colonialism, before Islam, before Europe, Israelites lived among Africa's great empires. That in the gold-rich kingdom of Ghana, hidden communities kept ancient Mosaic laws, passed down sacred traditions, and left traces still visible today. But history demands more than belief. It demands evidence. So today we ask a difficult question, not to dismiss tradition, but to test it. Were Israelites living in the Ghana Empire? Where the claim comes from. The idea does not only come from medieval Arab writers, it does not only come from archaeology, but it also comes primarily from oral tradition and later religious interpretation. Some West African groups preserve stories of ancestors from the north or the Near East, desert migrations, Mosaic law-keeping forefathers, sacred kings and judges. Centuries later, as Islam and Christianity spread, these stories were reinterpreted through biblical frameworks. Migration became exile. Ancestors became Israelites. This process is not unique to Africa. It happens everywhere. What the sources actually say. Arab historians like al-Bakri described the Ghana Empire in detail. They recorded markets, kings, laws, religions. They mentioned Muslims. They mentioned traditional African religion. They mentioned Jews as a distinct community in Ghana, describing them as the people of the book. They were said to have in their possession the 5 books of Moses, the Torah, and the book of Psalms. Some were silent about the matter. Arab writers documented Jewish communities elsewhere within the region with precision. If a visible Israelite group existed in Ghana, you can be sure it will not go unrecorded. In present-day Ghana, there is no mention of it. But absence of mention does not automatically mean absence of people. History is rarely complete. Jewish traders or Israelite settlers. It is historically reasonable that individual Jewish traders passed through Ghana. Jewish merchants were active across North Africa. Trade networks overlapped, but traders are not settlers. Temporary presence is not permanent community. To prove Israelite settlement, historians would expect inscriptions, religious buildings, burial traditions, written records, genetic continuity. Some of these have not been found. This does not disprove belief, but it limits historical certainty. The problem of retroactive identity. One of history's greatest dangers is reading the present into the past. When modern people discover similarities, circumcision, dietary laws, naming systems, tribal organization, they may assume shared ancestry, but cultures can develop similar practices independently. Circumcision existed in Africa long before Israel. The ancient Egyptians practiced circumcision of the male child as a passing into adulthood. They do that about the age of 16 to 19. But the circumcision practiced by these Israelites in the then Ghana Empire was done on the 8th day. Sacred kingship is found worldwide. Law-based societies are not unique, but there is overwhelming evidence that they practiced and follow Mosaic laws. Similarity is not lineage. Why the idea survives. So why does the Israelite Ghana idea endure? Because identity answers emotional questions. Who are we? Where did we come from? Why did we survive? For communities affected by slavery, colonialism, and displacement, Israel's story of exile and endurance resonates deeply. The Bible becomes a language for African memory. This does not make the belief foolish, it makes it human. What history can say honestly. History can say this with confidence. Ghana was globally connected. Foreigners lived within its borders. Trade brought people from distant lands. Ideas crossed the Sahara regularly. History can also say that Ghana was an Israelite kingdom, that its rulers were Israelites, that its population descended from ancient Israel. That claim belongs not only to faith, but also to evidence. A question that leads forward. The Ghana Empire was African, powerful, and independent. It does not need the writing of others to make it Israelite ancestry to be great, but the question itself points us forward. If we cannot find all evidence required in Ghana, then where did these beliefs grow stronger? The answer lies in Mali, an empire of books, scholars, and forgotten manuscripts. If you are fascinated by this story and you wish to know more, kindly subscribe to my channel, ring the notification bell, click like, and share with your friends.